Hey everybody, hope everybody enjoyed the techno stream that I did on my channel earlier this evening. Later on tonight, I'll be premiering a new techno set at about 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And on Sunday night, when I get home from work, I'll be streaming a new dark soundscape set. And as always, I invite everybody to come listen, hang out, and enjoy themselves, as always. Now, I'm sure everybody has heard by now, there is a new box set that came out on Rhino Records. It's a 4-album box set featuring 4 of the 5 albums Black Sabbath did with singer Tony Martin. It's called the Anno Domini box set. Now I'm hoping I pronounced that correctly. If I didn't, feel free to let me know in the comments below. Remember, I'm not good at certain foreign languages, so I need some correction on a couple of things there. That what I just said is included. Anno Domini is a box set, as I mentioned, featuring 4 of the 5 albums they did with singer Tony Martin from 1989 to 1995. They include 1989's Headless Cross, 1990's Tyr, spelled T-Y-R, 1994's Cross Purposes, and a new remix version of 1995's Forbidden, remixed by Tony Iommi himself for this box set. It also includes some bonus tracks that were released in Japan. Got more info right here. Tracks like Cloak and Dagger, What's the Use, and Loser Gets It All. There's also a booklet that comes with the set featuring photos, artwork, and liner notes by an individual named Hugh Gilmore. And the collection also contains a Headless Cross poster and a replica concert book from the Headless Cross tour from 1989 to early 1990. Now, one of the albums that they did with Martin is not included. That album was 1987's The Eternal Idol. That's because that album was releasing on a different label that year, Warner Brothers Records. The 4 that I mentioned were released on IRS Records, the same record label that had the Go-Go's, Wall of Voodoo, other early 80s new wave acts. At one point they had Eric Burdon's The Animals. They released one comeback album on that label back in 1982. See, back in 1988, IRS decided to have a division label called IRS Metal. Black Sabbath was included in it. 2 other groups, a band called Shock Paris and Seduce, Detroit's premium power trio, was also signed on that label. They released 4 albums on the label, which sadly is no longer in print. You have to go to either a used record store or order the album online at this point. And I guess Rhino Records decided, you know what, the Tony Martin era of Black Sabbath deserves more recognition. And I couldn't agree more. Martin is a supreme vocalist. He knew how to deliver top-notch but everybody's so focused on the two main singers of Sabbath, being of course Ozzy Osbourne and the late great Ronnie James Dio. So let's get into the albums that are included in this set, starting with Headless Cross. It's a very powerful album, no doubt about that. Many of the lyrics on the whole album definitely drift towards the dark side. Songs like When Death Calls, which features Queen's Bride Mary doing the lead solo on that track, Kill in the Spirit World, Black Moon, the title track, and a almost 2-minute long instrumental intro called The Gates of Hell. Devil and Daughter included, and a song called Call the Wild that originally was called Hero. And they had to change the title to Call the Wild because Ozzy Osbourne had a song in the works called Hero around the same time. Now we get to the second release on this set, Tyr, which is the name of the Norse god of war. This album is definitely the perfect album to listen to when you're watching reruns of the show Vikings, without a doubt. It's an album based on Nordic mythology. Songs like The Sabbath Stones, Jerusalem, The Lawmaker, The Battle with Tyr, Odin's Court, Valhalla, Anno Domini, and the last track of the album, Heaven in Black. The hit single from that album was a rock ballad called Feels Good to Me. That's a pretty good song to listen to, no doubt about that, when you're slow dancing with your lovely lady. Another great album from that era, no doubt about it. Then we get to the third album in this set, Cross Purposes. Had the CD for that album. It's a good album, no doubt about it. No themes, nothing satanic, nothing Nordic, nothing. Just a basic rock and roll, heavy metal album produced by the Sabs themselves. This release featured drummer Bobby Rodinelli, who used to play with Rainbow, and Geezer Butler. Butler rejoined the group back in 1991 when they brought back in Ronnie James Dio and drummer Vinny Appice. But when issues came about between Appice and Dio once again, Iommi and Butler decided to bring in Tony Martin once more and Bobby Rodinelli on the skins. The result being Cross Purposes. Standout tracks from this release include Eyewitness, Cross of Thorns, Psychophobia, one of my favorites, Virtual Death, the ballad Dying for Love, Cardinal Sin, and Evil Eye, which was the first single from that album. Then we go to the new version of Forbidden, which featured Iommi, Martin, bassist Neil Murray, and drummer Cozy Powell. Now, Powell already played on Tyr and Headless Cross. Neil joined the group for 1990's Tyr. The bass player on Headless Cross was a dude named Lawrence Cato. I guess he was like a session bassist for that album, if I understand. This album, Forbidden, was considered not really a big favorite of either Martin, or Iommi. Cozy Powell even stated in a few interviews that he did not like the way his drumming was mixed in the final cut. And Tony Iommi felt like that album should have been mixed a lot better. When the opportunity came to remix it, Iommi jumped at the chance, and here it is included in this new box set. Forbidden was originally produced by Ernie C., who was the lead guitarist for Ice-T's heavy metal group Body Count. Ice-T himself makes an appearance on the opening track, The Illusion of Power. And the reason for this collage is because many times Ice-T and Ernie C. gave Sabbath lots of praise for being the inspiration for their band Body Count. So you see what they were trying to do here. Now, as I stated earlier, there are some bonus tracks, a booklet, a poster. Now, I'm not too sure what the price range is. All depends on what format that you're looking to purchase. It comes in CD and on vinyl. And as I stated earlier, it's on Rhino Records. Sometime I may find it, purchase it, listen to it, the vinyl version that is, since vinyl is indeed hot once again. Let me know in the comments below what you think of this box set. Do you already have it? Did you like it? Let me know. Oh, and by the way, one more note I need to make out. Along with the Forbidden remix, the other 3 albums were digitally remastered for this set. That's all for now. Subscribe to my channel, hit that like button and notification bell. Nightwing is calling. Listen to fly again.